to another episode of the Quad Podcast. And I want to tell you that we are so thrilled, we are so happy, we are glad that you were here again with us. Whether you are a new subscriber, whether you're a new fan or on board fan, I want to say a very big thank you to you. And I want to let you know we celebrate you. Thank you so much for always tuning in. Thank you so much for always subscribing. Thank you so much for always sharing. And thank you so much for always commenting. I want to let you know that you are well recognized. Thank you. And on today's episode, we will be talking about the real estate. Yes, it is the real estate talk. But before we go into today's episode, I have here with me Rachel Amaka Emenike. Yeah, thank you so much, Mama. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for honoring our invite. Thank you because you're going to be talking to us about real estate. And before we go properly into the topic of today, I want to say a very big thank you to some group of persons that has made this podcast really doable one. I want to say a big thank you to Kwa Event Center. If you see this beautiful place we are using for the podcast, you can see how beautiful it is, the lightning, the sound, and everything. And I want to say a very big thank you to Kwa Podcast for your support. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, BB Africa, a platform where you don't only chat, but you can also earn money from it. You chat to your loved ones, chat with your friends, and etc. Also, a very big thank you to Ikoyi Africa. Thank you so much for your support. I see you, Ikoyi Africa. I see you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much because your support has brought us this far. Ikoyi Africa is a place or a platform whereby you can get your properties, your houses, whatever sort of properties, just name them. Ikoyi Africa is a place where you can get all that. So, welcome back. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting. And do not forget to also continue subscribing. Thank you for your support and continue supporting. Okay, on today's episode, the real estate talk. We'll be talking about the real estate as a whole. Real estate is a business that is profitable and it is a business that is in a wide range in Africa, a wide range business in Africa. So, Mrs. Amaka, can you just explain to us? I wouldn't say explain to my fans alone. Explain to us what real estate is.
All right. So first of all, I want to say a big thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah, it's our pleasure.
I'm so delighted to be here. All right. So straight into the question. Real estate, in my own understanding, right? Real estate is a tangible asset that has to do with buying, selling, or even developing landed properties. And of course, that has to do with lands and houses. I mean, it could be for residential purpose, it could be for commercial purpose, just basically landed properties. Yeah.
Okay, just landed properties.
Exactly.
So you mean real estate is other form of properties is not included in real estate?
Other forms you mean like?
Someone said, I don't know if the person is right or wrong. Someone said real estate is not just land. You can. She said, okay, I believe it also. I believe that is not. In fact, I believe what she said. She might be wrong because she said she was talking about other forms of properties like owning gold is not real estate.
That's not real estate.
Oh,
Yes.
really?
That's why I said it's a tangible asset. There are different kinds of assets,
Okay.
right? So real estate is an asset on its own
Okay.
that has to do with lands and housing.
Just lands.
Lands and houses. It's either you're developing, you are renting, you are selling,
Okay.
or just basically landed property.
Wow, thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for opening our eyes to what real estate is. And I want to know what really inspired you to become a renter and how did you get started?
All right, so I get to answer this question often. I mean, basically, getting into real estate, what inspired me was, the urge to want make sure that you're not idle, right? So I just saw myself venture into marketing real estate,
Okay.
right? That was how it all started, right? So I started marketing, and all of a sudden, I was able to close a deal.
Wow.
I was able to close a deal, and then when I got, my commission, for every property you sell, there's certain amount of money that you get. There's a certain percentage attached to it. So when I got that commission, it was huge for me at the time, right? It was so huge, and I just felt like, oh, I think I want to do this more. I think I want to dive into this business, and over time, I found out that it's something that I just have passion for, and it's something that I do freely without wanting to attach any kind of business with.
Really?
Yes. So it's something that I just love. I just love to do rather.
Wow. So apart from real estate, you wouldn't like to dive into other forms or other types of businesses or other types of jobs.
So
Is that what you're trying to say?
So the thing is, not like I wouldn't want to. I could partner with people that do it, but real estate is something that needs your time. It's something that needs your time, your effort. You have to be there. Or like other kind of businesses that you have to be there. You have to be in and out and all of that. So yes, something I want to do.
Okay, it's something you want to do for a very long time.
Exactly.
Okay, real estate is something you can also do even while you are old, because I have some set of people, elderly people who are into real estate. In fact,
Exactly.
a woman said to me, how many people call her name? Mommy Folayo. She's a very loving woman of 78 years, way back. That was about 6 years ago. She was very strong, a wealthy woman, and she said to me, Korea, let me tell you the best business to invest in. In fact, without your money, you can go into the business. I was listening carefully. She was like, just try and go into real estate. Real estate has brought me this far. That's what she said. Because when I checked her assets, as at there, because we went to, she patronized me in my business then, and we had to go to a bank for her to sign it. This old mama, they don't do transfer.
Exactly.
We had to withdraw from the bank, from the counter there, and give me my money. When we went there, so there was some sort of delays and probably network issues. One of the banks, I don't want to mention, and she was like, what is wrong with you people? An old woman of 74 years old, and she's so loving. And at the time, this Yoruba call those kind of people yakofoshi. She doesn't want nonsense. So there's no nonsense woman. She said to me, she was like, I will move my money away from your account. And see people begging her. Even the manager came out and was like, man, please, Mrs. Folayo, please.
Because they know her worth, right?
Do you know when she just told me that only in that particular bank she's having over 300 million at her age.
That's how much real estate can have.
At her age. That is just in one bank. She has other banks. She has properties in Admiralties. She has properties in a well-developed environment. So that was when I knew. I said, wow. So this one she wants to tell me the kind of business to go into. Let me listen to her. And boom, she said real estate. I was like, wow.
No other business can give you such huge amount.
And I was like, real estate. I can't go into real estate, especially the marketing department. I just don't want to do that. I wouldn't want to do that as a marketer in a real estate firm, because I've heard a lot of things. I've heard girls do a lot of things to make sales and all that. I know, we know these things, but it shouldn't be our business. And so she said real estate, and I was like, wow. That was when it came to my mind that wow, real estate, there is a blue one.
Yes, absolutely.
According to the real estate, it's the real one. So I want to ask this question: do you think properties in Lagos are so pricey?
So the answer to this question, I feel like personally, some properties are overpriced.
Here it is.
Exactly. Some properties are overpriced, and really, I don't blame some developers, because most people get to blame the owners of the property, like the developers of the property. Because when they put up a structure,
Sorry for cutting you. Yeah. Developers and owners, are they the same?
Okay, so there are people that own properties, like landed properties, for example, and then because they don't have that time, they're not those kind of people that can actually put up structures. They don't have that time to sit down and start developing. So they hand it over to certain sets of people to develop. Those ones are called developers. And there are some people that, on their own, they are developers. They own the property. Okay? Like my company, the company I work with, A1 Homes Investment Limited, we are we are a real estate company. We are developers because we develop properties on our own. Because we own our land and we build on them. So, but for some people, they build on other people's land, like with their authorization, like with the authorization of the owners of the land. Really? So they are called.
So that means you don't necessarily need to own a land to develop it.
You don't have to. Oh, really? You don't have to. I mean, there's something we call JV, joint venture. Yes. So I mean, a lot of people venture into it. You own a land and someone else bring the money to develop. Yeah. So I mean, both of you are called developers, right? So yeah. So take me back to the question.
Okay, the question is, do you think properties in Lagos are overpriced?
Oh yeah. So I will say that some properties are overpriced while some are not. Right. So I was trying to say that some are overpriced because sometimes when a property is built and it's now in the market, and then we have people that, of course, real estate agents that get to put it out there, and all of a sudden, because for them in a bid to make money, they get to they call it loading, right? In the real estate market, so they get to load the amount of that property, just so that at the end of the day they go home with something tangible. So they make it look overpriced to people out there. Right? But for some places, right, those properties are actually not overpriced. They're just the actual market value. Right? So it just depends on the actual location of that property. Yeah.
Okay, sellers and buyers market. How do you help your clients win both? How do you help your clients win both selling and buying? If you get a client that wants to sell, how do you help him or her achieve selling properties or his properties? And how do you help a client that want to sell out and achieve selling? Sorry, buying rather.
Okay, so starting with the buyer, right? If I get a buyer, I get a potential buyer to say, oh, I want to buy a property. My first question is, what's the purpose of this property that you are willing to buy? Okay, right? What exactly do you need this property for? Because I need to understand or be able to channel. As a real estate expert, you need to understand that. Okay, you tell me, okay, this is what I want to use it for. Maybe a long-term investment or a short-term investment, and then I go ahead to ask you. I mean, what exactly is your budget? Okay, next budget. Okay, what exactly is your budget? Okay, how much do you have for this property that you're looking for? You don't want to open a mall in Lekki and your budget is around 50 million naira. It's not possible. So what about 100 million? Oh my god. I don't understand that is not a big money, it's not a big amount. Small. Really? For Lekki. Wow. I mean Lekki. I'm not talking about
then Lekki is really pricey then.
Lekki is not Lekki prices of land in Lekki ranges from between 100 million. I mean, wow, just the land, residential area. So we're talking about commercial area. Let's say for instance, you're driving through Lekki Phase 1. Those properties by the roadside, if you even see any banner, which there is none right now, right? If you see any property, any built up property that is for sale, that property will go for nothing less than 1 billion. 1 billion. Wow, that's a whole lot. Yeah. So those ones are commercial properties. But we're talking about landed properties like land. Yes, you can be looking at, let's say, 100 million, okay, 150 million, or even above, above that. So, the question again, sir.
Okay, I think we should be done with that. I think we should be done with that. We're asking if land certain price,
okay, no, sorry. Sorry. I'm so sorry because I was trying to answer your question that what would I do if my client wants to buy property? So I get to understand their needs, I get to understand why they need the property. I get to understand, of course, their budget. And I'm able, as an expert, I will be able to figure out, identify which property suits their budget and suits the purpose they want to use it for. Now, let's say, for instance, I want to help a client sell off a property. I need to understand the environment. I also need to understand the value of land in the area where it is located. Because as I said, that you can't walk up to me and tell me, oh, Amaka, I want to sell off my property, maybe somewhere around Aja Agnes. And I know that landed properties around Aja Agnes ranges from 60 million, 70 million, and thereabout. And then you tell me you want to sell for 1 billion naira inside an estate. That's too high. It's overpriced already. So I'll be able to tell you, okay, this is what properties in this area.
Okay, then I think that will depend on the size of the property.
Exactly. That's true. That's true. Yeah. So I think that's all.
Okay, what are the key factors that determine the price of plots?
Okay, so first of all, location.
I know people say location. That is why land. That's why people say land in Ekpe. So now lands are no longer cheap.
They are not. But then it depends on where you're buying from. Whether you're buying the one that's facing the express road, or you're buying the one that is off the express road. So first of all, one of the factors that needs to be considered before you buy property is the location. Right? You need to know, like I said, you need to know what location you want to buy this property. Then you also need to understand why you're buying this property. I get to ask people, do you need this property for short-term investment or for long-term investment? So I had someone that wanted to buy a property from me, and then he said, oh, okay, because you advertise this property, please sell to me. I mean, just help me do all the documentations and all. And then I went ahead to sell. And then later, because they bought this property somewhere that is still developing. And then after 2 years, he reached out to me and said, can I start building? And I'm like, oh, no. Because this particular location where you got this property is still developing. I mean, it's still in a rural area, right? So properties in that place have not really developed, except you choose to start up something there and, to live. So yes. And then another thing you also need to consider when you want to buy a property is accessibility to basic infrastructure, right? So I took someone to a property some time ago, and then when he saw the property, he was like, okay, I don't think I can buy this property because it is far from hospitals, it is far from marketplaces, it is far, I mean, I need a pharmacy now, I can't get a pharmacy around. So, but that's the truth.
Yes.
Yeah, so you need to consider if the property is somewhere where you want to live in, if the property is close to, basic infrastructures, basic where you can get basic amenities, where you can easily step out and buy something, somewhere that is actually secured, that you know that okay, I am safe in this environment. All right. So, and another thing you also need to, put into consideration is the development potential. Somewhere like the New Lagos now, which is Ekpe, we already know that Ekpe is the New Lagos, right? We know all of the things going on there. The proposed international airport, the Lekki Free Trade Zone, the Alliance City already in place. We have an Atlantic University there, the Lagos Film City that is coming up very soon, and a whole lot more. So all of those things to bring about the increase in value of properties in that area. But if you're buying properties in somewhere like, I don't want to mention names of area. All right, so not like someone is you're buying a property in Badagry. Nothing is happening there.
What things are happening there now?
Oh, maybe I've not really checked. But the last time I checked, nothing was happening there. I mean, the kind of land that 1 year ago, 2 years ago, still almost the same thing. There's really no much increase. And then unlike, the Ekpe part of Lagos and, other parts of Lagos Island that, lands keep increasing. So all of these things have to be put into consideration.
Okay, what do you wish your clients knows before working with rental?
Okay, so I think clients should understand that sometimes, not all, because I'm not going to generalize it. So I think some clients should understand that what we are selling to them is of great value to them.
Okay.
And that we are doing them a favor, not them doing us a favor.
Do you think they are not doing a favor?
understand that. I mean, both of us, who is doing each other a favor, they are the ones getting the more of the favor, right? Because when the properties are increasing in value, they'll be the ones to benefit, not myself. I would have taken my little commission and gone away. But they will keep reaping. It's more like a generational thing.
Okay.
Their children to come. They keep, if that property is still in their family name, they keep reaping from the value of that property.
Okay, how long does the C of O title last in Nigeria?
Oh, 99 years.
Wow, 99
Yeah,
years.
you have ownership to that property for 99 years.
So after 99 years, what happens?
You have to be due again.
Okay, you have to be due. Oh, I thought governments will come and claim your property.
Before the 99 years, you have to start processing it again.
Okay. So how long does it take
to get your CO? So it depends on the state, right? For Lagos State, it takes a while. It takes a while.
1 year, 2 years.
Sometimes for some people it takes a few months. For some people it takes about a year. For some people it takes over a year. It just depends on how you are doing it and who is helping you out with it. Yeah.
And is it true that many people working with a real estate firm doesn't really have you come and advertise land to me. You don't have a land. So what really spur you? What really pushed you to come to me, and what really gave you that boldness that you need to get the land when you don't even have one? Yeah. So someone said to me that many of these people you see, they don't even have a plot of land, not even one plot of land. So why would they? What's even pushing them to come and sell out land?
So the thing is, I really don't know about. I don't know why, but it is important that as someone that sells a particular thing, you must own it, you must use it. See what it means to own properties before you can be able to sell to people. But I find out that a lot of people, maybe for some reason, maybe they've not been able to gather a good amount of money for them to be able to invest in. But it is very important that as a real estate agent, you must own a property.
As a real estate agent, you must own the property. Okay, is there a plan that can make someone like people that are not really well to get properties? Is there a plan that can help them pay instrumentally so in order for them to own at least a property?
Okay, so now the thing is, for some real estate companies, there are installmental payment plans like ours. We allow installment payments for up to 12 months.
Okay, that's a year.
That's a year, right? So it's little or no interest, right?
Automatically, there will be an interest.
For some of our properties within 6 months, there is interest. But within 7 to 12 months, of course, there's a little interest attached to it, right? So for people that are willing to buy properties and they want to pay bit by bit, you can reach out to us. You can reach out to any of the real estate experts and be careful. There's some real estate.
Okay, what am I getting land from Omonile?
Okay.
What about getting land from Omonile? No, we have this people they call this set of guys they call Omonile. So some people said, according to the Yoruba, they said it's even safer getting properties from Omonile.
Okay, so it's safer. It's cheap. It's cheap, but you have to be careful so that you don't get yourself into trouble.
Okay.
Because dealing with those people too takes a lot. Alright? Most times they get to sell properties that have been sold to other people to you. And if you're not careful enough, because you see that the property is cheap, and you just want to own a property by force, you want to own it like right now, you have to be very careful. Yes. It's good to buy from them, but please be very, very careful. Make sure that you do all the proper findings.
So how do you get your own lands? How did you go to these people, these villagers, this Omonile or this the family head? You get your own land from them to resell, and how do you get? Because land is not owned. I can't just come up and claim anybody's land. So how do you get those lands?
So you mean for everyone who's investment? I mean,
exactly.
Oh my God, I don't know if I can answer this question, right?
Okay.
But then I'll just say that we do it the right way.
Okay.
Yeah. So for properties that are are owned by Omonilex, we buy from them.
Okay.
We do our due diligence.
Okay.
And make sure that we perfect the title.
Okay.
And for property that are owned by individuals, we also do our due diligence. So not all properties we buy from Omonilex.
Okay.
There's a particular property around Berger Axis behind Omoni Phase 2 that we own.
At the mainland?
Yes, at the mainland, Lagos mainland. It's called AY Luxury Villa. We didn't buy from Omonilex. We bought from some set of people, all right? But they are not Omonilex because they already bought from them, right? So, I mean, so those are that's kind of way.
Okay, I heard you talked about the buyback scheme investments or so. Can you just throw more light on it?
So, AY Homes Buyback Scheme is a platform that helps you grow your wealth through real estate.
Okay.
It's a sustainable real estate investment that you can invest a minimum of 1 million naira to grow that money with up to 70% interest.
Wow. For how long?
So we have plans for 8 months, 12 months, and 18 months. So for the plan of 8 months, you are entitled to 29% interest. For 12 months, you're entitled to 45% interest and your capital. For 18 months, you're entitled to 70% interest plus your capital. Now, this buyback scheme is backed up with 4 legal documents, which includes, of course, the deed of buyback, that's the contract of sale that binds both the company and the clients. Okay. We also issue an acknowledgement letter that states that, you invested this amount with us for a particular period of time. We also issue, of course, a payment receipt. And then, lastly, we issue a post-dated check that contains both initial investment and the interest. Exactly. So, now anybody buying into AY Homes Buyback Scheme is buying into one of our properties. Because you're going to be owning the property for a particular period of time. Okay, you choose. Okay. Right. So you're going to be owning that property for either 8 months, 12 months, or 18 months, right? After which you sell back to us. Okay. We buy back the property from you with a certain interest. We buy it back from you, not at the amount we sold it to you, right? We buy it back from you, and then you get an added interest depending on the duration that you choose. Okay, that's a good one for the buyback scheme. So if I want to invest in it, is there an amount, a particular amount? Okay, like I said earlier, you can start with a minimum of 1 million naira. You can invest as high as 500 million or even more. Okay, so 1 million naira is the minimum. Exactly. Okay, that's a good one. So for our followers out there, for our fans out there, the buyback scheme is available for you all. From 1 million naira, beg your pardon, 1 million naira to as much as you can afford from the AY Homes. Okay, in today's digital age, how do you get your property seen and sold? Okay, so of course we have different social media channels, right? So personally for me, I make use of my WhatsApp. I leverage on my WhatsApp contacts. I also leverage on my Instagram, even though it's still building up. I also leverage on my Facebook contact because I have more of my old friends, even though I don't have their personal contact. So I usually post on my WhatsApp. People get to see my properties on WhatsApp. People get to see on Facebook. People get to see on Instagram. I also make use of LinkedIn as well. I use Nigeria Property Center as well. And then sometimes Google, sometimes YouTube. So it just depends on which one I choose. And is there a way for you to should it be conjoined with another real estate? You mean partnering with another real estate? Okay, partnering is the best word. Thank you very much. Duly registered with us. Oh, I have to duly registered. Whether as an individual or as a company. Yes. Okay, that's a good one. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, our fan. We still continue, but I just want to say hello to you. Hope you're not feeling bored with our talk because this is really a matter or an issue or topic that we should talk about because acquiring a land in Lagos is
is a to-do list, be your to-do list. Yes, in order to make money in the Nigeria industry. Yes, real estate is one of the best ways to make money, according to Rachel and Makan and some other people. And I'm very much convinced. Though there are so many businesses out there to make money from, but real estate is, I think, should be one of the best ways to make your money. So, Miss back to Mrs. Amaka. So I don't know if what do you I don't know what you tell people that are considering being picking up a career in real estate, like being a realtor.
All right. So my advice for anyone that wants to venture into real estate is number one, you have to be passionate about it.
I think everybody that wants to venture into anything should be passionate about what
Of course, you have to be. You have to like what you do, right? And then once you start off, get yourself developed. Make sure that you develop yourself education wise. Every area that you know you can develop yourself. Get yourself a mentor, someone that you look up to that is in the same real estate industry. All right, someone that can hold you through the process of learning how to become a certified realtor. And then you also have to I'm trying to remember. This thing just keeps my head now. Yes, you have to be consistent. So over time we hear people say be consistent, be consistent. It is very important. Once you dive into the real estate industry, make sure that you are consistent with the business. Not that today you are selling real estate, tomorrow you dive into selling wigs. Next tomorrow you are selling shoes. That's what most people do, because after like 1, 2, 3 months, they see that they're not able to make sales. They're like, oh, if I say this one, no, they pay. Make I go sell back and shoes. Make I go sell wig. I think I'll be able to sell this one faster. No, 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 no. People will not trust you like that. People want to see your work over time. People want to see you grow. People want to see you. People want to see the way you start and the level at which you have gotten to. So you need to be consistent and keep developing yourself. I think those are the very important things that we need to pay attention.
Okay, thank you so much for this. Lastly, I want to ask this question. This question is somehow funny, but it's a question that needs to be attended to. How do you handle a client that's emotional? Or probably a client is scratch my back, I scratch your back clients.
Oh,
I know there are so much out there. So how do you handle it?
A lot of them. So we get to see this thing more as female realtors.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So personally,
not minding your marital status.
A lot of them push it to us. Whether you're married or you're single, all right, they'll tell you, oh, okay, meet me at so place. I'll be able to. Don't worry. I'll close the deal with you over 100 million and all of that. It's enticing.
It is.
Yeah. But then you have to know your worth. Yes, as a woman, because this is not even about male realtors now. It's about the female. You have to know your worth. You have to maintain your standard. All right. So if you're telling me that, you have to do this with me before you patronize me, then you don't need that property.
Exactly, you don't.
Because if you really need it, you go for it. They are two different things, okay?
And some can even involve themselves with the clients and end up not buying, and the client ends up not buying.
Yeah, the client ends up not buying. It happens. We've heard about those kind of stories. It happens a lot. So it is important for you to maintain your standard. Know your worth and keep that name that you're bearing, because one day you tell a story of how you began, and it will be good that you start telling stories of how it's led a series of.
Do you think anybody want to talk about that? Nobody wants to talk about
that. But then personally, when you start remembering how all those kind of things happen, it will speak well. It will speak well.
So, what advice do you have for fans out there that wants to go into the real estate or that wants to own a land in Lagos? Will you advise them to purchase already developed land or a developing land?
All right, so my advice for everyone out there watching, all right, is that if you're here to buy a land, first of all, make sure that you own one. And if you've already bought one or two, please buy more. Land not they finish. Land day. Yes.
So that's why they don't finish all the they don't block water finish. So, are you sure water will not go angry one day? Really? Wow.
So yeah, I was going somewhere, right? So for people that want to invest in properties and they are looking at whether to invest in a developed area and a developing area, my advice is that you should invest more in that area that is just starting. You know why? You see that developed area, it is already developed. The rate at which the value of properties in that area will increase is very slim. Because of course it's already, let's say for instance, Lekki now, you're buying a property in Lekki for 500 million naira, right? In the next 1 month, few months, in the next few months time, that property will still be around the same range.
Okay.
Unlike properties in this place where we have this futuristic plan. There are lots of a lot of things we put in place. We have a lot of infrastructures already in place, and every day value of properties in a place like Ekwe is increasing. Every blessed day. When we hear news today, the price of a land in that place increases. Tomorrow they bring something to the area. Maybe they come to clear the proposed international airport. The price of land in that place.
So that means in 2 years the property can increase by
200%. Exactly. Only those developed areas. But for those developing areas, those places that are gradually developing, I mean, they have every tendency to increase over 100% within a year.
Wow. Thank you so much. So if you are purchasing land, do well to purchase a land in a developing area, right? Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much. And I want to urge you to keep on subscribing, liking, sharing, commenting. Tell us what you want to tell us what you want to hear. Tell us the topic you want us to talk about. Yes, those exciting topics, those issues that are bothering you. Do not bother about who we are bringing. Just tell us the topic and we are good to go. On our next episode, we'll be having a very wonderful person with us. And get ready. Keep your pens down because you're going to be learning so much. Thank you so much. Keep on subscribing. Tell a friend about the Kwa podcast. And also thank you to PP Africa. Thank you to PP Africa. Thank you to Kwa Event Center for this wonderful atmosphere. Thank you also to other of our sponsors that we don't mention here on the platform. Thank you so much. We see you. You are doing well. Thank you. See you on our next episode. Have a lovely day. Bye.
Bye.